Hey homemaker, let's take a look at what a typical day of housework looks like in my home. And I am also going to share with you 4 tips. 4 little things that make a huge difference when it comes to managing the tedious to-dos. I'm Andrea, and here on Home and Family Management, the YouTube channel, I share the systems, habits, routines, tips, and tactics that I have found to help me run my home more simply and efficiently as a stay-at-home mom. One of the first things I do every single morning is empty the dishwasher so that way it's ready to go for the day ahead. Emptying the dishwasher is part of my opening checklist routine. And here's tip number 1. Something little that makes a huge difference when it comes to those tedious to-dos is to plan out routines, checklists, or systems. So, for example, my routines are an opening checklist, a closing checklist, a kitchen's closed checklist, and baby room checklists. By pre-planning these routines and plugging in all of your tedious to-dos to these routines, there's no guessing about when things need to be done. You streamline your to-dos, and then the more you do them, the more habitual they become. The more habitual they become, the less time and energy each takes. Tip number 2 is to incorporate resets into your daily routine. One example of a reset is doing the dishes as you go. Instead of leaving them in the sink to pile up and overwhelm you at the end of the night, incorporate a reset after breakfast and school lunch making. I will rinse them and add them to the ready-to-go dishwasher or hand wash those that need it. Think about a reset as doing a little work throughout the day to get back to a baseline instead of leaving it all for one part of the day when it would take more time and energy to complete. One rule of thumb I have learned over the years, I believe it originated from Fly Lady cleaning, is if it takes less than 2 minutes to get done, do it now. Growing up, and even into college, I never understood the point of making a bed. I mean, I'm just going to get back into it the next night. So, isn't it a waste of time? But it's not. It's not a waste of time. It truly changes the entire vibe of the house when the beds are made. And it's like this domino effect of getting the next thing done to match the tidiness of the bed. Okay, are you ready for tip number 3? Tip number 3 is to set yourself up for success. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you are finishing a task, think about how you can make it easier for future you to complete that same task. For example, in my opening checklist, I spray down and rinse off the bathroom countertops and mirrors. And then when I'm done, I add another rag and put it next to the spray bottle so that way tomorrow it's ready to go. The more obstacles in the way of getting something done, the less likely you are to get it done. So brainstorm and come up with ideas how you can bypass some of these obstacles that are holding you back from completing tasks. Did you know we have a weekly newsletter? If you are liking these tips and want more motivation delivered straight to your inbox every Sunday night to get you ready for the week, join our weekly emailed homemaking motivation community using the link below.
When we are together, you're afraid to hold my hand, trying to understand.
And just like in the other bathroom, another way I set myself up for success with bathroom cleaning is to keep a rag and a all-purpose cleaning spray bottle in each bathroom.
I know that you're not blind. Tell me what is really on your mind. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're always picture perfect. You think you're gonna be rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause so am I. So am I. Say what you are. So am I. Say what you need me. So am I. Say what you are. So am I. Say what you need. I see them pulling your strings, and you might be seeing things. Yeah. You know I'm real and I'm here.
Now, before the boys get back from school, I'm going to do a quick tidy and reset of the living room.
You know you're already accepted.
I still have a toddler at home with me 24/7. So I want to reiterate something I've talked about on this channel and on my Instagram channel a lot, and that's choosing priorities over perfection. When it comes to tidies and resets, you have to be able to ignore some of the mess and be okay with it not being perfect all the time. Quick tidies and resets will help you not be overwhelmed at the end of the night, but if you can't get to it, it's not the end of the world. The boys are home from school and they just completed their backpack standard operating procedure. So let me explain tip number 4. Standard operating procedures while I reset the kitchen sink again with all of the lunch dishes. Standard operating procedure is a comprehensive set of step-by-step instructions, guidelines, or protocols that outline how specific tasks or processes should be carried out. They are designed to ensure consistency, efficiency, and quality in the execution of routine or critical activities. One of the SOPs we have set in my home is how the boys handle their backpacks when they get home from school. They know by me saying backpack routine that I mean to put any paperwork in the folder holder in the closet, put their lunch boxes on the kitchen counter, take out any homework, and then hang their backpacks on the designated hook in the closet. This ensures we are all on the same page about what needs to be done and how. As you can see, with 3 boys at home, tidying is something that is done throughout the day. One little side tip I have for you is to focus on your floors. If you have guests coming over, or if you just need a major win to feel better about your home, focus on the floors. Clear them and then vacuum. Vacuum floors change the whole vibe of the house and can make everything seem much more tidy, even if it's not. So now we're at the part where dinner's over and we are in that crazy, chaotic time of the night where we are trying to get the kitchen's closed routine done and tidy time complete. Tidy time is another standard operating procedure we have in our home. So when we say tidy time, everyone in our house knows what they're responsible for, and that we are to get anything that is not in its place in its designated home back to its designated home. So while I start cleaning up the kitchen and starting my kitchen's clothes checklist, the boys are usually around doing tidy time. It's really hard to capture on film as it's every single room, but here's an idea of what it looks like about midway through tidy time. When tidy time is complete, everything is in its home.
Go back out to sea, sail home, sweet home, where the ships must go to get on.
One of the last housework duties I have of the day is to do my kitchen's clothes routine. While I complete that, let's review the 4 tips that we learned in this episode. Tip number 1 is to set routines based on checklists that streamline all of your tedious to-dos. This little bit of pre-work is going to make the rest of your day run so smoothly. Tip number 2 is to incorporate resets throughout the day to get back to a baseline so that way you can overcome the overwhelm at the end of the day. Tip number 3 is to set yourself up for success. Always be asking yourself, how can I make this easier for me to complete this task in the future? And tip number 4 is to set standard operating procedures for any of the tasks that need to be done so they're streamlined, everybody's on the same page and knows what to do.
Back home, sweet home, where the heroes go to get all cleaned up. Anyway, let's call it a day.
If you're thinking to yourself, man, this seems like a lot of work for the day, it is. I see being a homemaker, a stay-at-home mom, as a full-time job with a gigantic workload. But by enacting these tips, these systems and routines, I have found ways to streamline these to-dos, the busy work, so that it doesn't take up all my time and energy, and that I can have some time to focus on those things that bring actual joy to me and mine.
Wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry. 'Cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. We had a good run, don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water.
Make sure you're following along on Instagram at Home Family Management. Here at Home and Family Management, we take our jobs seriously. We prioritize growth in all areas of life. We get done what needs to get done in order to have that time and energy to focus on whatever it is that brings actual joy to us and ours.
But not as much as this does, so baby, bye. It's for the best, and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight before we make this even worse.
P.S. Here's one more tip on how I always set myself up for success. After steam mopping, I always refill the water and set up the mop head so it's ready to go for the next use. Again, getting rid of any obstacle that may hold me back from completing the task.
You start to get dressed and then we cry. 'Cause we both
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know below if you have any questions or comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another home and family management system, habit, routine, tip, or tactic to help you run your home more simply and efficiently. Talk to you soon.